What is profitability? Is it in the room with us right now? Is that what you tell your shareholders? Absolutely not. Nintendo, I will literally give you $70 cash money right now for red, blue, yellow, gold, silver. Cash money. No. No.
My emotions. My emotions.
愚蠢的美国人和约
John Cena.
没错，先生，因为这个视频是给美国人看的，我们想说什么就说什么，字幕绘画的。
This one doesn't work. And this one doesn't work. But no one is seeing your film on the big screen. But people are seeing movie theaters. They're driving past them every day to go to McDonald's. The Shamrock Shake is back. BlackRock Larry is not going to be happy about this. This is how it feels to watch Disney Plus. That came out pretty good. I'm happy about that. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome into the Wizards Crash Out. I am the real life fake wizard. We have a lot to talk about today. Disney took down one of my videos. This is the first time they've done that. We definitely have to get into that. That's going to be a big topic. We've got some Doctor Who to discuss. I haven't watched Doctor Who in many years, but I watched quite a bit of it in the past. A little bit to talk about there. We've got some upcoming Disney film to talk about with the box office profitability projections. That's going to be important. But this is kind of a big one for us here. We want to get right into the main topic pretty quickly. I want to get right into this because I haven't done a video on it yet. I felt it was more important to firstly wait it out to see because there's a lot of information that was changing rapidly and radically with this. But look, everybody, it is June 1st here in the United States. It is Sunday, and this is I believe we're either pushing 50 or this is our 50th something close week of doing these Sunday streams, which means that's almost a complete year of just doing these Sunday streams. And that's kind of huge, right? We started this channel a little under a year ago. While I've been on TikTok and YouTube before that, this is being the real life fake wizard. We're going on almost a year. And the foundations of my channel were born out of hatred for, or really passionate betrayal from Star Wars: The Acolyte. Okay. And so that's been my kind of whole thing here is I'm so fed up with how companies like Disney and Warner Brothers and Sony and these entertainment companies are doing anything but entertaining. They are projecting their own versions of false, I don't want to say ideology because I don't know if it is ideology all the time. And I don't want to broadly just say that it is ideology. I think it's incompetence and mediocrity. They are painting those stories that defined generations with mediocrity, and that's leading to massive damage to us, as I believe. It's going to do massive damage to us as a species. And so over almost a year here doing this and doing the show and making videos, Disney has finally taken down one of my videos. Taken down. This is a very interesting thing because we have, people talk about, oh, my videos have been taken down. Oh, this happened or have been copyright claimed or copyright struck. Mostly when we hear from other creators, do you know what they mostly say? They mostly discuss two things: copyright claimed and copyright struck. Let me explain what these are. When we put up videos, we post them on YouTube. Normally, there's a little buffer that happens as you upload the video, as YouTube scans your video for copyright owned content. So if I'm uploading something that has, movies in it or television shows in it, those copyright scanners are going to tell me or tell us if it's owned by someone else. So like right now, me streaming here, just me speaking, it's just my voice. This is entirely my copyrighted content. This is me speaking. That's it. But as soon as I include music, as soon as I include movies or anything else that's owned by anyone else in my content, well, now there's a bit of a discussion there on who truly owns that piece of media. Here in the United States, we have something that is called fair use, okay? Which means that I can fairly use other content as long as it is transformative. So, if for those of you that watch my videos, you'll know that I take lots of clips from movies, TV, video games, and I change it and I do things to it to make it transformative content. Okay, I'm not the only one who does this. There's constant content creators putting new things on here all the time. And what's ridiculous to me is that if a company sees your content and they're unhappy about it, normally they could just claim it, which is what Warner Brothers does. Warner Brothers is infamous for this. If you upload something that has a trailer for a Warner Brothers movie in it, for instance, Beetlejuice 2, right? Beetlejuice 2 was instant copyright claimed, right? So if you go back and watch my video review, you'll see that I put copyright Gollum in there and I embellish to change things and move things around to make it so that it doesn't get copyright claimed, that it is transformative enough. Okay, so there's copyright claiming. That's one thing. Then there's copyright strikes. And this is the one thing that many YouTubers discuss because it is something that most YouTubers are maybe not afraid of, but respectful about. If a company wants to punish you for using their content, they can strike your channel. And YouTube has a 3 strikes you're out policy. I have not received any strikes, but I've posted lots of videos that, I have been afraid of what's going to happen if this video goes big time viral. Because companies abuse this copyright system. They abuse it constantly. What has happened to me is an abuse. I completely believe that what has happened to me is an abuse. And though it is not a strike, they blocked my video from being seen worldwide. This is something I don't see very often. I don't see other creators have to deal with the situation. I'm actually like kind of surprised. And this is why I didn't jump the gun making a video, because I don't understand fully who pulled the trigger on this, why the trigger was pulled on this, and why was I blocked when there are countless other creators and content creators that countless other videos that feature and do the same exact practices that I do, but they're not blocked. Okay? So what is the video that I'm talking about? Well, I did a video review for Lilo and Stitch. Now, I haven't really been focusing on doing video reviews for movies quite often. I focus on mostly just covering the news, like the most important things in the entertainment industry as far as news is concerned. But the Lilo and Stitch film, which I saw opening day, was something that really stuck with me, and I needed to talk about it, and there was a lot to talk about. And I did a follow-up stream last week going over a lot of the similar points, okay? That video, I thought was a kind of a goner. I didn't think it was going to perform very well. It brought in 97,000 views and almost 1,000 subscribers, if not more than 1,000 subscribers from that one video. That video blew up. It is one of the best performing videos I've ever had, and it was continuing to grow. So that video was posted last Saturday, and on Thursday night of this past week, Disney themselves blocked it from being viewed by anyone around the world. Now, what's kind of fascinating here is we get to see the timestamps on the back end, and so the timestamps kept changing. And this is why I didn't want to make a video on it, because it's still changing now. Like, I have no idea. I'm kind of just sitting in here with my hands up in the air going, I don't know what's going to happen next. And that's because this system that YouTube has can be and is abused by corporations that don't want to hear from you. It is. We know it. We know that it is. Because the video that I put out was transformative. I used trailer clips, clipped them, and used that as an overlay to my video. I do this all the time. Everyone else does this too, which is why it's insane that mine was the only one taken down. Days after it firstly passed the copyright check by YouTube. It passed the check. And then it was up for almost 5 days. Almost 5 complete days. So this is insane to me. This feels a little pointed. Now, I'm not crazy enough to say that, oh, Disney's on to me. This is a conspiracy. They're trying to take me down. Although I have to believe that this was done by a person. Okay. I don't think, like, I'm not going to come on here and pull a quartering and say my channel is under attack, even though my video was attacked. And I won't lie to you. I will say, when I went to bed on Thursday night, I was afraid that I would wake up on Friday and my channel would be deleted. And that, you may be like, well, that's a little extreme. It's like, no. There are people that are in the zeitgeist here. There are content creators here that are waking up right now and finding out their channel is demonetized. They've been banned from YouTube. Their channels have been taken down. There is no course of action. And you know what's worse? It's not even just the entertainment space that we're in right here. It's in the fitness industry. It is in the fashion niche. It is across YouTube entirely right now. They are silencing people and not giving nearly enough information as to why. So for me, and my entire basis for having this channel here is my feelings of betrayal from companies like Disney. It's only a matter of time before this gets too big, and then I am somebody that's worth taking down. Right now, I'm small potatoes. I have a channel with 36,000 subscribers. I am grateful for every single one of those subscribers. But let's be real here. Comparatively, me to someone else, right? Someone like Gary Nerdrotic or the Geeks and Gamers crew or like all of these other people. And really, you can't go after them as easily as it would be to silence me. I don't really have a network like everybody else does. Although I am friends with networks, that's fine. But I am not a network. I'm a one-man army that is pissed off enough to dress up like a wizard, get on the internet, and make videos saying how bad and offensive everything is in the entertainment industry. How these corporations hate your guts, and they just want to extract as much money out of you as they possibly can before you wake up. And it's not just Disney. It's Nintendo, it's Xbox, it's PlayStation, it's Sony, it's Warner Brothers, it's the movie theaters. Geez, the movie theater is just as bad. It's all of these companies in the entertainment industry. That's why I talk about the entire industry here that have made it their absolute mission to, firstly, make as much profit as they possibly can. But also now it's doing the least, getting the most, and then manipulating you along the way. They're not earning that money like they needed to before. They're not earning that trust like they were before because they feel like they don't have to. They feel like they don't have to work as hard anymore. So they could do the bare minimum, and they believe that you owe them because they created something. And I'm here to tell you, screw these companies. And I'll go as far as to say things that my content creator brethren here won't say. I'll go further than everybody else. I have no money on the line here. Do you know what? You know what's funny? You know what's really funny here? Firstly, I don't make a dime on this. I am in the red every month on YouTube. There are people who make entire businesses doing this. And God bless them. Good. Go for it. You know, you make your money. That's fine. But me, for what we do and what our operation looks like, and making this show happen and acquiring equipment and subscriptions to have software to do things, it's expensive, man. It is expensive. And I'm a one-man army doing it because it matters more to me that I get to say, look what they did to Star Wars. Look what they did to Lord of the Rings. Look what they did to Pokemon. Look what they did to Nintendo. Look what they did. Look what they did. That matters more to me than making a quick dime on here. And so it's fun. It's like kind of maybe ironic is the word here. That Lilo and Stitch video was one of the highest performing revenue earners for this channel because of the watch time, because it was technically a longer video. It was about 24 minutes long. Most of my videos are under 20. And it was like one of the best performing videos we've ever had. And not only did they take the video down, but of course they seize all of that money too. And you know what? Take it. Take it. I don't care if you copyright claim every video I've got. The only reason that my videos are monetized at all is because YouTube plays the game. It's a big game, everybody. And if you're not putting your videos out there to have them monetized, which means you're making videos within the confines of what YouTube wants you to make, right? You're making them in a way that they can put advertising dollars on it. YouTube will reward you by showing your video to more people. Point being, if you are not monetizing your videos, if you are not deliberately setting your videos to be monetized, you will not reach as many people as you would have if you were monetized. So for me, I have to monetize because then I'll get better reach. So here we are, almost a year of doing this, and Disney has finally hit me. And the reason that I know it is Disney is because it deliberately says this has been claimed by Disney Enterprises. So I know that it is Disney. But I believe, because as I said before, I don't know who did this or what manager. It's some person in a corporate office pulled the trigger on blocking my video. But see, they deliberately didn't strike me. They didn't copyright claim it, although I would have been welcome to that. I would have said, all right, yeah, they copyright claimed. I mean, I would talk about it here, and I would have been fine with that. Let my video go. Let my video explode. I got almost 1,000 subscribers from that video. I'm grateful for that. But you silenced what I was saying. You silenced my criticisms. And you proved to me that if they want to take me down, they can. If they want to delete my channel, they can. They chose not to. And I'm thinking that's because they would have made me into a martyr. If Disney had done something to strike my channel, they could if they wanted to. Because and here's what's crazy is, by what they have done to me based on this one video, they have the ability to strike down anyone else in this space because of what they've done to me. And I will do a video on this when I have all of the information. Should things change, I'm waiting to make sure I have all the correct info, right? The video that I put out, I posted the full thing on Twitter. Twitter doesn't give a shit. They're fine with it. Post whatever you want on Twitter. But by the practices that I used in making that video, if that is enough to be blocked by an IP owner, that everybody else that you know and everybody else you watch could easily be struck down by any corporation at any time. Okay? If those are the grounds that YouTube is playing on, that they could just silence me, then they could silence anyone else and then get away with it. Now, one of the things that people have asked, and I'm sure there's plenty of people, I haven't really looked through the chat yet. I'm going to. I just want to get through this spiel first, is are you appealing it? Are you fighting it? Are you appealing it? The answer is no, not yet. I haven't filed anything yet. And the reason for that is, as I said before, things keep changing. They keep changing the timestamps, which makes me believe that there's someone actively doing it. There's somebody actively reviewing this. The video includes trailer clips for Lilo and Stitch 2025. It includes clips from the movie of 2002. I looked at the comments. I have to pull this one up. Is the wizard crying? You okay, bro? Dude, I need a drink really bad and I don't want to stop. And my voice is shot already. I'm getting like that cotton mouth already, and it is not good. It is not good. Am I crying? No, I'm trying to speak and I'm getting choked up, but not emotionally. Jeez. People are always giving me shit in the videos. They're like, hey, why is your voice doing that? Why are you faking your voice? I'm like, no, my voice just burns out fast, especially when I'm doing these and I get all passionate and stuff and I get loud. Anyway, it's a terrible tangent. I have not filed an appeal yet, not until I have all of the proper information and I have a better course of action. Here's my fear. Because for someone like me, as I said, I'm small potatoes. And I'm not interested in becoming any of these drama farmers. I'm not interested in doing that. People say to me that, oh, well, you rage bait. Bullshit. I'm not saying anything to make a dime here. I could give less of a shit about being famous. Famous doesn't do anything for you, but make more problems. What I want to do is wake more people up. I'm trying to wake up as many people as I possibly can to what's going on here. Because it takes more than just one person to make a difference. It takes an entire army of people saying, no, we're not buying this crap anymore. We're not supporting these companies anymore. Okay? I can't do that on my own. I will, but it's not going to make a dent on these bad guys. So it's not a matter of, rage bait. It's passion. And it's not bait, because calling something rage bait implies that whatever that person is saying is fraudulent. It implies that stop rage baiting. It implies that whatever that person's saying is fake. And it makes it sound like it's false, as if whatever that person's saying, they don't care about it. They don't actually care about what they're saying. You're just attracting in haters to what? Profit on them? I'm not here to do that. I don't care. We don't make any money on this. I don't want to be famous. Fame doesn't get you anything. It gets more people paying attention to you. But those people, here's the thing with fame, and I've learned this very easily here. I've learned just in dealing with comments on my videos from people who don't understand who I am and what I'm trying to do, right? I get some comments from people, and I learned this on TikTok too, and this is going to be a good story here. When I was doing TikTok early on, and I was doing Dungeons and Dragons content, I made a pretty strong reputation. Please, for all our sakes, please go get a drink of water. You need it. Is it that bad? See, I kind of feel like I sound cool. Sometimes I believe that it sounds kind of cool. Usually I get prepared. I didn't realize I was going to go so dry so fast. So something I've learned doing the content creation thing, you could put a video out and you have, let's just say 1,000 people who say, this is really great. This is on the money. I agree with this. You could post a second video the next day or a couple days later, and you can get a series of those 1,000 people who come on here and say, oh my gosh, I hate you now because I disagree with what you've just said. And so what's kind of crazy there is when I did the thing like TikTok, as I was saying, I made a pretty strong name for myself as a very reputable source discussing Dungeons and Dragons. And then the company did something terrible. Wizards of the Coast, the company that made Dungeons and Dragons, did something terrible. And I said that what they were doing is terrible. And I said that they are being assholes. They're being greedy. They're trying to manipulate you. And for the first time on something that was important, people that backed me turned on me. And they said that I was just drama farming, even though I had almost 2 years of time on that platform being a reputable source to discuss information with this game. And they turned on me because it was against what they wanted to believe, even though what I was bringing to them was true. And what's funny is the damn company never recovered from that. They put out a new version of the game that has underperformed. They launched their own virtual tabletop, which has underperformed. They are cutting people left and right. It has nothing to do with COVID at this point, ladies and gentlemen. Hasbro is in the tank. It's because of bad business decisions. It's because of greedy assholes that cared more about their bottom line than making a good product. I just explained I'm not crying. So if you think I'm crying, which is funny, hey, there's that passion. Do I look like I'm crying? I know I got the reflection coming in here. Yikes. Yikes. This is the most professional stream, everybody. Most professional stream on the planet. So that brings us back to the main topic here today, right? Disney took down the video. Disney took down my Lilo and Stitch video. I will put out a proper video explaining all of this. And it's kind of an interesting thing. It makes me think that I am on the radar here. And that's not a good feeling. It's not good feeling like you've finally attracted the eyeballs here. Like, should I be flattered? Maybe, but I want to make changes. And this is not good. If this is what they're going to start doing, it's only a matter of time before they just silence me entirely. So here's the thing, right? We have a little over 200 people watching across all platforms. And I am now also streaming on Rumble. We are going to do that too. And I was invited by somebody on Twitter to join Rumble. We have 0 people watching there, and that's fine. But think about it this way. Somebody else on the internet, I saw a clip previously where someone described that social media is, you have really, in anything, you have 3 lives. When you fight against the machine, you have 3 lives. And in this case, the first life is they just deplatform you. Okay. My metaphorical war here is against corporations that are destroying storytelling as a medium. That's what I believe. I've talked about this in videos before. It's very important. Entertainment companies are destroying the values of storytelling, of stories, okay? The stories that defined us and defined generations. That's what they're after. And at the snap of their fingers, I could not only cease to exist online, but I won't be able to come back. I won't be able to make a new channel and come back, okay? When you're banned on YouTube, you are banned on YouTube. They knock out your Gmail accounts. They knock out everything. And so it's kind of waking me up to the fact that that is a reality. And even at something where I'm only sitting at 36,000 subscribers, I'm a dude that dresses like a wizard to talk about Star Wars. And I could still be silenced. I could still be erased because that's how wicked these companies are. And I'm not talking about modern politics. I'm not talking about left and right bullshit. I'm not talking about the things that get people actually canceled. I'm not interested in any of that stuff. All I'm here to do is tell you that the bastards are coming for our stories. In fact, they've already taken them. Look around right now. Look around your rooms. The things that you collect, the toys that made us, the movies that define your childhoods. How many of them are still fine? How many of them are okay? How many of them weren't touched by a bunch of corporate jackasses? Probably not many. They're all about dead by now. I think one of the only ones that remains pretty strong, and I don't want any more movies for it, is Paddington. That's the world we live in, folks. Paddington is one of the only remaining truly perfect film sagas. Like, that's it. Star Wars is dead. Lord of the Rings is going to be dead if it's not already. Doctor Who is a disaster. And we look around and things are seemingly getting a little bit worse. Right? Things are getting worse. Marvel is a mess. DC is a mess. Even Pirates of the Caribbean fell apart by the end. That last film was pretty rough. And then it got canceled because of Johnny Depp. They canceled Johnny Depp wrongfully. It's an amazing court case. Watch that entire thing. Made a lot of friends doing that. It's the actual stories themselves, my friends. If we look, there are content creators on here who make videos on every single headline. For some of them, that's their jobs. God bless them. Okay. Every single headline they make a video on. Some of them do 2 to 3 videos a day. God bless them. Good job. All right. Somebody's got to do it. Okay. But what's kind of interesting here is it's not enough. They're not getting it. They're still not getting it. You can make a video on Doctor Who, right? They just brought Billy Piper back as the Doctor. And you can make a video on that. But that's not the root of the problem. That's a symptom of the problem. Doctor Who being under attack by bad writers is a symptom of the problem. The real problem is the attack that writer is doing to storytelling as a medium of emotional connection. And some people will say, well, that's a little extreme. Well, I'd say you're not extreme enough. You're not paying attention enough. You're not digging in deeper to the root of all of these problems. Look at She-Hulk. She-Hulk was they even self-inserted themselves. The writers put themselves into the finale of that show to say, screw you to the people who get upset about their attacks on storytelling. It's right there. They're admitting it now. Like they keep admitting it. They keep admitting to what they're doing. And, we used to, years ago, I think, maybe in the 2010s, the end of the 2000s, the early 2010s, we used to blame the actors a lot when things went bad, right? We used to blame the actors. I remember as kids, we would blame actors. Oh, yeah, Daredevil was bad. Oh, well, it's Ben Affleck's fault. No, it wasn't. It had nothing really to do with him. He's just an actor. I look around now, and we hear things that the actors say, and most of the actors are morons. The actors that we all look up to and we watch all of the YouTube shorts on and clips on, many of them, they're just getting a paycheck, you guys. They're just getting the paycheck. And the writers are the real problems. The marketing directors are the real problems because they're pushing these ideas. These social media influencers and journalists are part of the problem because they're telling you everything is fine when everything is not fine. And then, of course, we have the executives who want this nonsense in everything. It has very little to do with the actors themselves. The actors are just kind of a symptom. The actor culture is a symptom of the problem. Most of them just want to be famous. I don't want to be famous. I'm not here to be famous. I'm just here to wake a bunch of people up. So I could disappear tomorrow, and most of you would just go on with your lives. I've talked about this before. That's what happens when we disappear, when we go away, or all kinds of things happen. We just go on with our lives. So now, that really means that the work that we're doing here is finite. It is, it could end. It could disappear. See, here's the other thing. If I was banned on YouTube, do you know that I can't make appearances on other channels? And here's the thing. It's not just me as the fake wizard. It's me as who I am in the real world. I would not be able to go on other channels if I was banned. That's the reality there. They will ban you permanently from being on the platform. So that means I can't go back and do D&D content again. That would mean I can't hang out with my lawyer friends, although I haven't been able to hang out with them in some time. They're good people. I miss that. That was a good time. We've all been just too busy. And it's very much a possibility. So I need to treat everything that we do as if there is no tomorrow kind of thing, because at any time, boom, channel is dead. We have no idea. It's something I wished we got to 100,000 subscribers first before this came up, Mostly because I could make sure I get that stupid ass plaque. You know what I mean? You know? Here, this is, thank you for Comics Dad here. Ryan Rogerathe is banned from other channels too, but he's making it work. Rumble creators welcomed in with open arms, and he is loving it there. Yeah, the problem is the reach on Rumble is nothing. There is no reach on Rumble. Unless you are one of the big-named people on Rumble, you know, one of the Dan Bonginos, or right now, when I opened it, was Grant Cardone was doing WealthCon there. They don't really give a shit about you. I was invited to Rumble, and look, hey, we will stream, we will multi-stream on Rumble. There are 2 people watching, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it's one of the other good people here who's multicasting there. I've got the chat up, so if anybody wants to let me know on Rumble, if you're there, let me know. But they could take you out for any reason, and now I feel that myself. You know, I feel it in real time that you could be erased. You could just, poof, gone. That is very real. And it's something we have to think about now. So, full video on this coming out where I'll have a lot more of these ideas fleshed out. I'm still, I must say, you know, it really kind of took me back a little bit seeing that, oh my God, they silenced me. Because it is a silenced. It is a silencing that was performed. They could have just left it up and just taken all the money, and I would have been like, all right, fine. I don't really care. Just take all the money. The channel name is the same here as Real Life Fake Wizard. At Real Life Fake Wizard. Exact same channel. Exact same channel. And it's I've had this channel for quite some time. So it's not like I just made it, you know? So that's where we're at. That's where we are. Full video on this coming probably within the next couple of days. This is important stuff, guys. And this isn't even the first story of the week of cancellation, right? This is, and it's not, I'm not claiming that I'm canceled, but, and this is another story that has been pretty big. And that's talking about Comic-Cons. This has been big on Twitter. And it's another creator here who I don't really have a relationship with, though I do like the guy. And I've been listening to him the last few days as he's discussed this topic. And that's Camelot. I think it's, 331? Do I have that name right? Yeah, Camelot 331. This is a big story that's kind of sweeping the zeitgeist here. So here's a creator. He's a YouTuber, but he's also a NASCAR driver that was supposed to be doing an appearance at a convention. Oh, look, we got it. We are here. Alpha Papa here has got the link. Should I just share the link? Maybe I should just share the link. Let me make sure I share the right one. I wish they made it easier to share this stuff. Come on now. Here we go. I'll put the link out here. There we go. So anyway, here's this. So there's, for those of you that do not know, I spent a lot of time working with Comic-Cons up and down the East Coast of the United States. There's a lot of work that goes into those, and I have seen the amazing side of them, and I have seen the ugly side of conventions. Being a part of these has changed my perception on really quite a bit, right? There's lots of money to be made in conventions, but there's also a lot of fun to be had, just from a business aspect, right? And seeing this, here's the context for this story. Here's a brand new show. This is the first time that this convention is happening, and it happens to be happening right in the city that I live in. I was planning on going to it. It's called Geek Game Expo. Like I was going to attend this thing because it's at the convention center that I go to for the other Comic-Cons. And it was a local thing, and it's a small thing, and it was a first-time show, and I was planning on attending. Just not as a wizard, just going to the con because thought it might be interesting. It'd be a good Saturday, right? And this creator, Camelot, was supposed to be one of the guests there with like a booth to, meet and greet with people. He's got something like 300,000 subscribers. Good for him. He was banned from the con because somebody internally complained about him. Now, I don't know who it is. I don't think we all know who it is. They know more details than not. I'm not here to speculate on that. The point being is someone complained about him and he was banned from the convention without good enough grounds. Okay. And that's a cancellation. And there was money put out on this. Like, he had merchandise developed just for this event and he was canceled. And that's it's fascinating to me that even now, see, this is something that people don't understand. It's like, oh, well, we're in 2025, so we can get away with doing stuff, or it's 2025, we can do things again. It's like, firstly, what? You think that you could speak your mind because we're in the current day. My friends, you are not free to do anything. You have no new communication freedoms wherever you are. But of course, everything I'm saying is respective of the United States. Okay. There is no freedom of speech anymore. My video got taken down because I was criticizing Lilo and Stitch. A content creator who was pretty prominent got banned from attending an event because people don't like what he says on the internet. Nobody's calling for like hatred on an individual here. You can't do that. That's illegal. My challenge out there is to get people to wake up to how evil these corporations are. And they're now silencing me for it, or attempting to. Go for it. And here we have another creator who's just going to a Comic-Con to like take selfies with fans, and he's blocked from going. And there's a lot more to this story. Of course there is. I don't have enough of the details in front of me to report on it. But this is staggering. This is shocking stuff. There are, even just in the last couple of weeks, there are too many creators that I know that are smaller in subscriber count than I am, who've been banned from YouTube, who have been demonetized by YouTube. And it's like, no, we don't have the freedom to say the things that we think we can say. And I'm doing a channel here. I'm running a channel that is I'd like to imagine that it's apolitical. I believe politics is stupid. It is divisive. And like, I can get into that, but as soon as I say what I believe, even about the current administration, which I'm disappointed in, just as I was disappointed in the last administration, you'll get people who are like, well, you don't agree with me, so you're wrong. It's like, all right, go to the food store here in the States. Shit's not cheap. Go look at real estate in the United States. Shit's not cheap. Things are not affordable. Things are not getting better. That is neither a Democrat or a Republican problem. They are both the same sides. They are the two sides of the same coin, and that coin is rusted and pretty shitty. It's bad. It's bad. I don't care what side you're on. I don't care who you vote for. The United States is not in a good place. And there are people here on the line that are telling us that, everything is fixed now because current year. That's not the case. Look, they are these companies. I'm trying to do my best without saying the wrong thing. Have you ever seen The View? This will tie this up, then we'll get into some topics, some real articles here. Have you seen The View? You know The View with Whoopi Goldberg? Of course you don't watch it. No one does. I was on a stream with That Park Place a couple weeks ago with WDW Pro. Good channel, good friend of the channel. Jonas, J. Campbell, and Pro. They're good folks. I'm very happy to have a relationship with them. And they were covering something that was said on The View, and it was very fascinating to me. Like, 'cause I don't watch The View, and they had Sunny on there who said something very deliberate, very specific. And she said, we are just biding our time. And now she's talking, of course, about politics, right? Let's be clear. The Republicans won the last election. Okay. And Sunny, who's in, The View is an ardent Democrat-focused show. Fine. That's, that's their show. And Sunny Hostin said, we are just going to bide our time and pretend like we're beaten. And then we will strike back. And that is the exact same perspective. That is the exact same situation that all of these corporations are in. All of them that are suffering right now. Star Wars is down. Marvel is down. DC, Warner Brothers is hanging on by a thread. If Superman bombs, Warner Brother is gone. They're going to sell off Bugs Bunny, my friends. That's how bad Warner Brothers is right now. Disney hanging on by a thread in some places. But they're all just going to bide their time and then strike back as soon as everybody else lets their guard down. And I don't want to give them the opportunity to come back. I don't want more Star Wars. I want Star Wars to end. I've said this before. I think Star Wars needs to go away, at least for a little while. Doctor Who, after the announcement that we saw yesterday of Billy Piper as the Doctor, which is kind of creepy when you think about it. We'll talk. I'll pull up the article in a moment. It's very creepy. I don't want Doctor Who to continue. I want Doctor Who to end. End it. End it and come back a couple years later. And by a couple, I mean, give it a decade. Let people miss it. Come back in the same way you started with 9 with what's his name? Oh, geez. Eccleston, with Christopher Eccleston. I don't want more. Here, I still have the box sitting here. I don't want more Kingdom Hearts. I want it to end because we deserve to have good endings. We deserve to have things be made. We deserve to have stories and art be made that have finales. And we should be able to move on with our lives to the next story, the next compelling thing. But even this, look at the title on this. Kingdom Hearts 2.8. Final chapter prologue. It's like, okay, let's wrap things up. Let's wrap up these stories. And I wish that the stories that made us weren't so under attack all the time. You know what I mean? I wish there was more than just Paddington as something that I could say is a genuinely good franchise. And the corporations that are committing to all this, they're going to come back. They're not come back, strike back. They're going to strike back. Art of war, my friends. It's the art of war. If you have an opponent, and I consider all of these corporations, they have attacked my stories. They've attacked the stories that have defined you and me. So I consider them opponents. And unless you destroy your opponents completely, this is the art of war. Sun Tzu. They will return. They will come back. And so I'm telling you that all these companies that you think they're on the rocks right now, you think that, oh my gosh, well, we're beating them, we're winning, we can speak now. You can't. They're biding their time, admittedly so. And they are going to come back. They're going to strike back. They're going to strike hard with no mercy. They're going to Cobra Kai this shit, okay? For me, it's just a video. Tomorrow, it could be the entire channel, as it is for many people that I know on this platform. Something to keep in mind. And it's a reason now that I'm going to ask all of you, if there are creators on this platform that you respect, that you want to keep up with, that you don't want their message to get silenced, you should follow them on other platforms. So that could be me. That could be anybody else. But the people that you respect and you like to follow, and you want to make sure that they are not silenced by the machine, I recommend you follow them on Rumble and Instagram and TikTok and Twitter, and especially things like Twitter and Rumble, which, yeah, you may not like them. You may not like who owns those companies. We don't really have the ability to care about who we like personally, right? In those cases, because YouTube could ban you entirely and you're gone. That's not going to happen on Twitter as easily. That's not going to happen on Rumble as easily. So, something to keep in mind. And let's talk about Doctor Who. Let me transition over. I didn't have the thing queued up before I hit the transition. Oh, yeah. All right. Most professional stream on the planet, everybody. You know what? No. We have super chats to read. I have to read these, and then we will continue. You guys are awesome. We are sitting at 250 people watching here across all platforms. That is incredible. Marmot is dead for $20. Thank you for that. Thank you. The intro was awesome. Unfortunately, my brain has been programmed to expect the Transformers transition before I start hearing you speak. I'm going to have to get used to that. Thank you for the $20. Yes, I'm trying with new things. I want to have more interactivity, and there are creators out here who have like so many clips queued up of what they're doing and what like just of their past stuff. For me, I don't really have that because like it's just me. I don't have people pulling clips of my stuff. So, but I went through and I found a bunch of them that I liked, and I wanted to show them off and do a proper intro, like a proper cool introduction with badass music. So, yes, thank you for that. L Monster for a 5. New title: Wizards Spell Out or Cast Out. It's on brand in my opinion. I would agree with that. Unfortunately, crash out is kind of the big trend right now. That's a trending term. So, and I kind of like it. And I like the idea that I do just get on here and verbally explode every Sunday afternoon with you. This is a crash out, and it is on brand for me to lose my mind here. So I like it. But thank you for that. Instant Messenger Sama for €10. Yes, Lord, I finally catched a live stream. Well, shout out to you and welcome in. Glad you got to catch the stream. And I'm happy that all of you are here watching these streams. This means a lot. Considering I'm not posting videos as frequently and we are still seeing incredible like viewership like this today, that means a lot. That means a lot to me. Instant Messenger Sama for a €5. Kingdom Hearts 4 is deserving of a fair chance, in my honest opinion. Just because 3 was meh doesn't mean the whole IP is beyond saving. I would agree that 3 does not determine that the franchise is like permanently dead. What I will say is I want the story to end anyway. Like this is a good story. When I was a kid, when I was in the 6th grade, that was the first time I finished Kingdom Hearts 2. I did not finish Kingdom Hearts 2 when it first came out. I was a child. I was in the 6th grade. But I recall I was very much in the 6th grade at the time when I finished the game. And that ending caught me for a loop. I was distraught at the Kingdom Hearts 2 ending because I wanted more. I was devastated that it ended, and I just wasn't ready to wait all that time. And remember, this was early internet days. The internet, we were still on dial-up back then, or we were just, oh my gosh, we had just gotten off of dial-up. We were on broadband when I was a kid. And for those of you that know broadband was better than dial-up, but it wasn't good. It still was not good. That little modem box I wanted to smash with a hammer. I think I did smash one of them with a hammer. That was cathartic. And so for Kingdom Hearts, I remember looking and scouring the internet and downloading all of the MP4s off of like the sketchiest websites that for people that, because YouTube wasn't massive then. And nor were people putting all the clips on YouTube at the time. So I was finding all these like forums of people that had recorded their PlayStation 2s and uploaded it. And like all of the secret videos that were not available in the United States. And it was a good time. That connection that I had is something that thousands of people have. And maybe like what I just described to you, yeah, like maybe I'm the only one that ever experienced that. But you know what? Scouring the internet, trying to find more information, what things meant, characters, and where's the story going, and what did things really mean. And yes, thousands and thousands of people have similar connections like that to stories. Those deserve proper finales, and they deserve to end gracefully, peacefully, properly. And too many times over, I mean, look at this. This game that I'm holding in my hand has, as one of the selling features of it, it has a really terrible CGI movie on here. So I'm buying a video game to watch a bad CGI movie, which is connected to a mobile game that was canceled. And then they reposted and remade that mobile game only for it to also be delisted, deplatformed, and deleted. This deserves to have a proper ending. So while I agree with you, yes, Kingdom Hearts 4 deserves a fair chance. The franchises, it's time to sunset some of them. It's time for them to either come back with a new cast of characters, do a whole new Kingdom Hearts franchise. But everything with these characters deserves to end. Thank you for the super chat. All right, let's talk about Doctor Who 2. And we're here, Doctor Who. This is an opinion article. I don't really care about the article. I just wanted to pull up the graphic. I wanted to pull up this picture here. For those of you that watch Doctor Who you're seeing here is Billie Piper, who previously was one of the companions on Doctor Who. She played Rose Tyler. When people of the new Who era think of the companion, most of them think of her because she played Rose Tyler. Rose Tyler is like the most well-known companion. And she was only on 2 seasons as a regular, and then she showed up as a guest through the next 2 or 3. This is a shot from the most recent episode, which I don't watch. I have not watched the new season, where the Doctor regenerated into Billie Piper, I guess. We don't understand why this is happening or why they made this decision for things to be this way. But the optics of this are really bad. Like, this makes no sense. So we know that the Doctor regenerates into a new person, and that is supposed to be a new person. And that the Doctor has the ability to recall previous faces for future iterations, right? For future Doctors. But what's strange here is, like I said, the optics of this is because the past Doctor had a bit of a romantic relationship with this woman. And now he is that woman. That's weird. That's creepy. It's like when you realize that this person, like, it's not Rose and it's not the actress, right? Like, in the context of the show, this is the man that was running around that we watched as it was, 9 and 10 and 11 and Matt Smith and this is icky, man. There was a romance here, and he has now become the woman that he was in love with, and that is yikes. That's weird. Yikes. I don't dislike. Nope. I do not like. That is very bad. Nuh-uh. It's weird. And I don't know where they're going with this, but it don't matter because this show is probably going to get canceled. And things like this and spectacles like this, because this is a spectacle. This was a choice for them to do this. This is not going to attract back more viewers. This is going to get people like me to talk about it, to say how bad it is. Yikes. Yeah, there's really not much more to say here. I just wanted to point out how gross I think this is personally. I think it's really weird that it would be like, yes, you were in love with this person, so you became that person. Icky. That's not good. What does that say about you, the writers who have done this? Disgust. Big time disgust. Yeah, that's not good. Let's jump over to the next one. Okay, here we go. This is That Park Place Elio, which is an upcoming Pixar Disney film, tracking disastrous opening box office projections as Pixar faces one of its worst debuts ever. Yeah, this is a screenshot from the upcoming Elio film. I have no desire for this. We knew that this was going to underperform. Here's what's crazy is this was announced in 2020. This Pixar film was announced in 2020, and here we are in 2025. It is still not out yet to this day. Pixar's long-troubled Elio is now tracking for a devastating domestic box office opening, with early projections from the Hollywood Handle estimating the film will pull in just $35 million to $45 million its debut weekend. Budget was nearly $300 million. That's wild. Potentially becoming the second worst debut for a Pixar film. I believe the first is Lightyear. The film is reported to have cost nearly $300 million to produce before factoring in marketing. This is the kind of movie that, unfortunately, they should just Batgirl it. They should Batgirl this. If it really costs this much, you should just get that write-off. Get that tax write-off. Because it's not going to make as much money. Like, especially if we're seeing here that it's not going to do very well at the box office. $700 million is what it's going to require globally to see any kind of a profit. And that's just to start seeing a profit, man. That's not good. You should Batgirl this, Disney. A long road to the screen. As previously reported by That Park Place, Elio has faced enormous hurdles behind the scenes. Originally announced for March 2024, the film was delayed by over a year to June 2025. Yeah, announced for release March 2024. The film itself was announced in 2020. You can't just tax write off any film. That's not how it works. True. Obviously, I'm not saying that they get all that money back in taxes, but for them to close something off and they were able to write off all of the expenses. There is much more nuance to that. I'm almost saying it jokingly because it's kind of pathetic that you would spend $300 million in order to make something that is an absolute dud. Here, actually, this brings up a really good point. Just don't go to movie theaters. That's all. Well, here's the thing. I thank you for this comment because it just triggered in my brain, in my noggin, a couple thoughts on that. Okay. Last week I went to the movies. I saw Lilo and Stitch. The week before that, I saw Friendship. Or no, was that also last week? I really don't remember. But I saw Friendship. Right now, there are 2 movies that released in theaters this weekend, you guys. One of them got no marketing. I'm going to see it today. The other film is Karate Kid Legends. I watched Cobra Kai. I loved Cobra Kai. I thought it had a great ending. I liked the original Karate Kid movies. Guys, I have no interest going to the theaters to watch this film. That means I have to drive to the theater. I have to pay money. in theory, although I have Regal Unlimited, so I could just go see anything. But still, I have to drive to the theater, and then I'm going to watch a movie that is the exact same thing as the entire Karate Kid show and all of the Karate Kid movies previously. So this comment here of just don't go to movies, that's all. It's like, you would want to go to movies if they were making good movies, and they're not. Elio is just another example of another movie that you're not going to convince people to get up and go to the theater. Because they don't care. Because you haven't given people a reason enough to care. So this is a really good comment. I appreciate that. I'm going to see that oh geez, what's it called? I keep forgetting the name, but it's the Filippo brothers, the Raka Raka guys did that horror movie. I want to go see that in theaters. I saw that their previous film was called Talk to Me, and I didn't get to see that in theaters. I got to watch that on streaming. That was an excellent film. That was an excellent horror film. Wonderful, wonderful film. Terrifying at some places. It's genuinely scary. I want to, that's out now. It got very little marketing, and I'm hoping to see that later this afternoon. So that delay was no minor schedule shift. It came after what sources described as major internal concerns at Pixar and a full-scale creative overhaul. Bring Her Back. Yes, that's it. I keep forgetting that that's the title. But yes, Bring Her Back. That's the film. Director Adrian Molina was removed from the project in 2024 under the usual scheduling conflict. Excuse, though he still retains co-directing credit. The film was handed off to Turning Red's Domi Shi and Burroughs' Madeline Sharafian. What followed was a sweeping rewrite of the story tone and the dynamic characters. I did not know this. I did not know that it's gone through development hell like this. Did not know this. Trailers released before and after the handoff tell the tale. The 2023 version leaned into a moody, emotional sci-fi narrative centered on Elio's relationship with his overworked mother. This sounds exhausting. By contrast, the 2024 trailer showcased a lighter, more comedic tone with new characters stepping into central roles. Zoe Saldana's character, for instance, was originally written as Elio's mother, voiced by American Ferrera, before a complete recast and rewrite to shifted her to the role of Elio's aunt. Studio on edge. The pressure on Pixar has been mounting for years. The studio's lockdown era release of, I'm sorry, we know all of that. Elio was supposed to mark a return to original non-sequel storytelling, but its behind-the-scenes drama, ballooning budget, and now soft box office projections suggest the opposite. So yeah, here we go. Another example where Disney's going to poop the bed. Disney continues to Amber Heard in the bed, which is not good. That's not good. I'm not looking forward to seeing this, but I probably will see it just so that I can cover it here so that you don't have to see it. See, I think it's one thing to stream games and watch things to be able to cover it for people. It's another thing to, just buy it because you want it. Like with content creators, I mean, geez, this is really, the beard is really messing with me today. This beard is terrible. I think somebody asked in the chat earlier if it's like itchy to wear. It's like Wolverine's claws. It is itchy every time, like, don't the claws hurt every time you use them? Do the claws hurt every time? Is the beard itchy every time? Point I was going to make here. A lot of creators stream games, they go see movies, and it's like people say, oh, you're just doing it for content. It's like, no, they're doing things so that you don't have to. They are the first content creators in a way, and this is a slight defense for them, are the first line of defense, protecting you from spending your money on something that goes against what you believe in. And so that's something to keep in mind when you see people streaming games that you don't like, or even they don't like, or going to see movies that you don't like and they don't like. It's to give you the answers to the questions that you will have so that you don't have to spend your time doing it. So I respect that. So will I see Elio? Maybe. Driving to the theater is a big thing for me because I have to. I've said this on other streams. I have to wear combat boots, and I go in with self-defense to go to the theater that is closest to me because it's a shithole. Like I said earlier, there not only are the movies bad, not only are they bad, but the movie theaters don't deserve your goodwill anymore either. The area where my theater is, the actual area itself is not bad. The theater itself is a shithole. Okay? And that's kind of insane. Like some of the most happening places where this theater is, but the theater itself is like a cesspool. And that's disgusting. You go inside and it's gross. I mean, like the floors are sticky. It smells like mold. The people working there look like they're a sandwich short of a picnic. Okay. It's gross. Then right outside, you have a really fancy restaurant. So I don't understand why that is. It's very unique. But I have to think every time. It's like, oh, well, am I willing to drive to the theater and go through that experience to see a movie that I'm not going to like? To see a movie that it's just like going to feel like a waste of my time? You know, how many times can you watch Karate Kid before you're like, yeah, I've seen it before? So that's a big factor there. You know, it's not just Disney doing terrible things. It's like these companies that run these movie theaters, they're not doing anything either. They're not working hard to earn your money either. And so they get everything they deserve. So this movie underperforming, I can't say I'm surprised. I can't say I'm surprised. You've not given people a reason to care and go out of their way to put money down and travel time down. So how is your theater so bad that the upkeep has been abandoned? I have this really funny. There is actually like no excuse to this one because like I live in a pretty prominent city here, like in North Carolina, and I travel all the time. So I'm constantly traveling and going to different states for work, right, and family and all that stuff. But I've gone to all of the theaters here that are like the Regals, and every one of them. I've even driven out to the ones that are like an hour away or further from me, just to see if they're all that bad. They are all that bad. They are all that bad. They're terrible. They're not fun. They're gross. They stink. They smell bad. Like that's not fun to sit there and have to. And it's not the people. You know, it makes me like. It kind of makes me a little sad. I remember the Infinity War, the Avengers Infinity War viewing experience that I had. The viewing experience I had was what I would call magical. I was in a very active city in New Jersey. I was there with my brother and some close friends. And it was like 4 or 5 of us there. And there was, it was the kind of town where it's a very vocal speaking population. It was the kind of people that speak during movies. I love these people. If you put me in a theater with people that are going to yell at the screen, and I am there for it because I will egg the crowd on because that means the movie is firstly, that means the movie is compelling enough to care, right? I'm not saying people that are on their phones having conversations during the movie. Those people suck. I'm saying the people that get so animated, they yell at the screen. Okay. And so for our theater, everybody was vocal. Okay. Everybody was talking. And it was Infinity War. And as everybody was getting dusted and they started dying, the people behind us were yelling. And it was funny as all hell. And I would love to say what they were saying, but I can't use their words because I would get banned on YouTube for repeating what they said. And it was glorious. And I wish movies were like that again. Oh my God. Like that's the community experience that I want. But now it's just stupid chicken jockey memes. That's very sad. So anyway, yeah, that's the movies. And yeah, there's My friends, there's a lot happening here. There's a lot happening outside of these streams and these videos. And so I would ask you to be vigilant. Pay attention. YouTube is making moves. All of the platforms are making moves. And every time that you think that it's like, oh, we can be able to speak our minds, freedom of speech, you don't have freedom of anything. Don't be confused. Don't think you actually do. You don't. And YouTube will silence you, just like everything else will silence you. They'll take away your bank accounts. They'll take away your email addresses. They'll take away your access to your family. They'll take away your applications. They will silence you from ever existing. And they can do it at the snap of their fingers. And so let this stream be the one where you go out and you follow the creators that you care about on all the platforms that they are available to be followed on. Okay, do that now. We're going to tie this stream up. Go do that. We're ending a little early today. Not really, but we're ending like 10 minutes early. So I want you to take the time to go right now. Go on Twitter, make a Twitter account, even if you don't really use it. It's fine. You'll learn to use it. I hated Twitter at first when I got it like 3 years ago. Get on Twitter. Get on Rumble. Damn, get on Instagram. Go do it now. Don't follow just me. Although I invite you to follow me. Go follow 10 easier. Go follow 5 creators on all platforms right now. Any 5 that you respect. Go do that now. All right. We're going to tie this stream up. This has been the Wizards Crash Out. I hope you enjoyed it. We will be back next week with more crashing out. Full video coming soon discussing the rest of the Lilo and Stitch controversy that I am experiencing. And until next time, create, innovate, inspire. And for the love of God, cancel Disney Plus. Okay? Yeah, let's see if there is anybody that we can raid. Although I don't think there is. Let's see. Come on now. Come on, YouTube. Load. Is there anybody else on? I don't think there's going to be anybody on. There usually isn't. There is no one else on. So we are going to say good night, goodbye. Cancel Disney Plus. I will see you all soon. Be well. Do something nice for someone else. And go follow your favorite creators, all right? FakeWizard.com. Get your matcha. Bye-bye.